Christian. Hopefully this one works. We're going to have this right now, but the link is about to be shared to our great fans at home. But Christian, at least we didn't miss much. We're here on lap number 20. Chad White, currently your race leader out front. Out front by 0.7 of a second. Zachary Nelson in the second here as we wait for some fans to trickle down. Don't you worry, ain't missing nothing here on lap 21. As we peek through the field just a little bit, Trey Jackson currently running in the 8th position.
Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. I'm working on getting this link posted. Stay tuned. Lee, take it away while I do this, please.
Absolutely. As we stay tuned here through the field. Scott Rickard, the GOAT, currently running in the 9th spot. He started in the back. He's already working through the field. Nobody can go through traffic like the GOAT, Scott Rickard. We got Jesse Becker and Connor Gerard in the chat. Hey, guys, if you would confirm, let us know if the audio's fixed. It better be, because if it's not, we are cooked. Christian continues to share the link around. Chad White, your race leader out front. Christian, I'm betting he's probably roasting his tires, but it is good to see that Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 car Chad White out front, nonetheless.
You know, he has really turned his, season, and, lately he's been on a hot streak here. Definitely one to keep an eye on for as the season goes forward. Definitely good in the Xfinity car.
See, they think it looks good, but Jesse wants us to go to an in-car to confirm. Well, Jesse, get ready, because we're going to hop on board your race leader, Chad White. Let me find the Hutchinson Motorsports TV cockpit view, and here it is. Ripping it around the speedway, Chad White into the race lead. Currently 0.7 of a second ahead of Zachary Nelson. Connor Gerard thinking it's good. I bet it's good. I did a full restart, folks. If it's not good, there are some major issues that we are not going to have fixed tonight. But we're in front of this sold-out crowd here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're at the old Atlanta from 2008 here on lap number 25. Hutchinson Motorsports TV at a 143 laps. For all you math wizards, that's 220 miles here tonight.
Math was never my strong suit. I'll let that stick to you. But, keeping an eye on the field here. Look at the 5th position. Didn't qualify well, but surely gained some ground. The GOAT.
Scott Rickard is bad fast here in Atlanta. And I say I'm shocked, but I'd be lying because I tell you what, Christian, I swear this man can race anything. I bet he'd win a dirt race. It doesn't matter.
Someone who... How many positions has Cal McCoy gained and lost since restart there, Blake?
Honestly, I think my ticker is wrong right now, so I couldn't tell you. Because it says Scott Rickard started in second, and we know he didn't. So I wouldn't be able to tell you that information.
Yeah, I think, according to mine, which is usually wrong, he's at 2 positions. But, not moving like I would expect him to here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he started around 16th, if I'm not mistaken, so I think he went up 11, but there's no way to confirm that. As JT Tinker tries to continue to work through the field, not working, he is basically stuck where he's at right now in the 19th position.
His tires are panting like a ran dog, screaming for help. He probably has burned them up, and they're just sitting down there hot as lava, rolling around this track.
Yeah, he's struggling here tonight. But he's going to try to get it going here as we jump back around. Let's see what's going on. Trey Jackson out of Mayo, Florida, running pretty good. And the GOAT, Scott Rickard in that 05 car, sitting in the top 5 right now. Now, Christian, you've been looking through the field here most of the night, I do know. Now, what have you seen out of this 33 car, Brian Burchett in the 22nd position?
Just kind of staying patient, maybe saving his equipment. I haven't really seen much of him myself. He hasn't caught my eye per se. Running right there behind Brian Samara in that 53.
Well,
Mark Schrader, too.
Mark Schrader, he's never a threat to win. Normally he's running for the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Battle for Last when he makes it out. But hey, tonight he's at least ahead of a few cars. Currently sitting in the 28th position. And Christian, you know who he's ahead?
Ahead of who?
Andrew Hess asked him about his wieners on Instagram.
Andrew
New Lenox,
Hess.
Illinois, the 54 car, the Wiener Schnitzel 54 car. Andrew Hess, let's hop on board.
You know, I asked him about his wieners on Instagram. I went to see them on Instagram, and he probably has some of the cutest wieners around.
And I tell you what, Christian, they are very big too.
He has some massive wieners, real long, too.
Absolutely, Andrew Hess. I'd say he's running good to here tonight, but I'd be lying, folks. He's running 29. He's slow. He's jumping. He's in the back. But I'll tell you who's not going back, folks. Mom picked the win. Jason Gratton in that beautiful 46 machine. It looks pretty good, but again, he needs to go see our friends over at Harpoon Design and get him a paint scheme done.
You know what he also needs to do? Order, you know, put some Hutchinson Motorsports TV brand new logos on his car too when he orders it. Tell him, get it done. What are you waiting on?
100%. Your pick to win here, Kyle McCoy. The good news, boy, that's a good-looking car here for McCoy. Didn't see that before, but the Peach Vibe Celsius, Kyle McCoy, number 7 car. Thought he was in the Iowa State machine. Christian, which painter you see?
5, hook over to Cal McCoy. I see him. Closer shot here on my end.
I'll re-download
My paint is... Yeah, I'm in Ohio State paint myself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my trading paints didn't update, so I'm going to go ahead and re-upload these things here. Let's see if McCoy's paint changes. We see the other cars around him changing, but not his, so who knows? Oh, here we go. Let's see what it kicks in. Oh, no, we're still with the Peach Vibe. So I'm not sure what's going on. That's what we got there. And we got Chad White and that beautiful test car out front. There we go. There's Hutchinson Motorsports.
There it goes.
Let's drop back here. See if the 7 of McCoy had his paint fixed. No, he didn't. He's staying in the Peach Vibe. He has switched paint mid-race, Christian.
Nonetheless, you know, he just has an impressive crew to come out here. He has that changing wrap, you know, probably changes on his mood. So, you know, we're going to see a black scheme if he gets pissed off out there.
And it looks like they're starting to get racy. I think some tires are fading. We got some up-and-comers here right now as the 28th working through the field. That's Josh Whitaker.
Concord, North Carolina, making his way up front. 9th position. 8th, excuse me.
Around here, how about Griffin Salyer in that 32 machine, currently running 10th? Not too shabby as Kyle Bolin in the 44. He's had a solid season, been quiet, but not bad. Currently running 5th.
I am seeing a lot of people out of force slam that wall. We're going to have to get wall repair if that keeps up. Definitely on a mission there to destroy your toe link if you keep slamming that wall.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep working on it. But, boy, I'm impressed, though. Chad White, he's actually gaining out front right now. I'm not sure what a what a fuel run is here. But you know I'm pretty sure they run 100% fuel, so I'm sure they can go pretty far. But Chad White is impressing here at 1.25 seconds ahead of second.
Yeah. Excuse me, Blake. Jesse didn't understand us when we were talking about the wieners. He says he begs our pardon.
Should we talk about them again, Jesse? Let us know in the chat.
I think we should talk about the wieners a little bit more on Instagram.
Well, Christian, first let's talk about Bryce Murphy. Normally he's pretty quick, but that 37 out of McDonough, Georgia, this is his home track. He is jumped here tonight. Currently running
22nd for a Barfield brother is kind of unheard of. Definitely not a normal run for them. I don't know if he's just rolling back there saving us equipment. I don't know, but we're going to have to see what happens to him later on in this race because that car might just be slow.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he's saving anything. I just think he's got no speed. He's so slow. He is behind the Liquid Death 93 machine, the JTT.
That is sign in itself. You know, JT sits there just chugging Liquid Death as he's racing and watching monkey videos on his phone constantly.
Yeah, but as we continue to share these streams around, we're starting to get viewers trickling back in, folks. We appreciate you for bearing with us. We had to end the last stream, had some technical issues, but nonetheless, we are back here live. You didn't miss really anything going on as we've been clean and green from the start. Be sure, though, folks, to click that like button, subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We are the world's #1 streaming service, the only place you're going to see Stars and Stripes Series action right here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. And Christian, I think it's time for us to take our first break of the night. We'll be back in a moment. Folks, we're cutting the break short here. We had a wreck. We are still green. Brian Samara is junk. Let's see what happened.
Oh, we're going to have to rewind it there. It looks hard impact right there on the inside of the track.
All right, so let's hop up
right
to
there.
the... You know what? Let's change this up. Let's go up to our eyes in the sky in the Harpoon Design blimp here. So we got Brian Samara in the 53, and then we got the 89 of James Waldo. Let's see what happens. Oh, Samara just comes up into him.
Nope. Waldo just kills him.
No, look,
Turns left
Samara
hand.
hits him. Samara hits him, upsets his car there. Right here. He never got the car straightened, honestly. So, I mean, really, Waldo couldn't really do anything there. My guess is the car's probably sideways ever since he got sideswiped. Well, here it is. In-car James Waldo. Coming out of the corner here. Samara doors him. He's never had a save. He gets into him. Oh my God!
On the 53 car though, as he just gets destroyed.
The 42 Mark Fish. What is he doing? The ARCA brake from hell.
Let's get it inboard.
We were still green, but look at him, Christian. Let's hop on board. So here's Mark Fish. He says, "You know what? If I stay up on the track, I might miss the wreck. So it is time to go down to the apron here." As Mark Fish keeps it floored, he sees some cars. He says, "Get out of the way, Brian. You're junk."
Destroys him. He was all gas, no brake with it. You know what I mean?
So Mark Fish is junk. He made quick work out of Brian Samara. Samara junked on pit road now. Not a good night for him, but Zach Kreitz currently running pretty solid, sitting in the 11th spot. He's got some work to do as he smokes the wall.
Just another brick in that wall. Keep getting hit by cars over and over and over again. A couple cars out of this race after an unfortunate incident. Didn't bring out the caution. We're still green here.
Folks, again, we appreciate you tuning in here. Be sure to click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're live here with the Stars and Stripes Series at the Atlanta 220 here at Old Lane. And you know, since we have a new stream, since we had, since the start, let's try this one more time, folks. We're going to go down trackside. And we're going to do the Harpoon Design Bring the Noise here at Motor Speedway. It's going to be a good one here tonight, folks. Let's go down trackside, listen into the sounds of the Speedway as the Harpoon Design presents Bring the Noise. as we hop back up here, looks like the pit cycle has started. A lot of cars down pit road already here so far.
Definitely quite a few heading down pit lane. Pit lane getting very busy.
Yeah, we saw our race leader, Chad White, elected to go down pit lane a little bit early. He was hard on his tires his first run, so it was not a surprise to see him go down. So we pull up pit strategy board, not showing much here because the top cars have obviously not pitted there. So they've been 48 laps. I can't believe we're already on lap 49 here, Christian, but 48 laps on these tires here as your race leader.
Lap 40, 50, lap 50, excuse me. Less than 100 laps to go.
Looks like about half the field has come down here. There goes Chad White. So let's see about Chad White out there. He's running 31.3s. Let's give him a lap here since he just got off pit road, I believe. See what kind of lap he lost. See if it's better. I'd assume it is. Well, he crossed the line 31.1. Yep, and our leaders just ran a 33.3. Boy, Christian, that's a 2-second fall off. That's kind of incredible.
Definitely a walk versus a crawl. I think at this point, if you're still out there, like the 43.5, 340, excuse me, 437, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you need to come down pit road stat. I mean, I honestly did not expect it to be over 2 seconds of fall off. Normally, I'm used to seeing a second, second and a half. But 2 seconds out of a mile and a half is pretty wild. And every lap you're out there extra, you are losing all kinds of ground.
Not the time to be thinking of points right now. You know, you think I'll lead a lap and get some points. You just got to save your race at this point.
And Scott Rickard, he's staying out there. Not sure about this strategy. He might be firing his crew chief at the end of this race.
He is pitting this time around. Let's take a look. There he goes. Scott Rickard, the GOAT, coming down pit road, locking it down. Oh my, did he get it slowed down enough?
Watching it now, the HenryCars.com 05 machine. Scott Rickard, the GOAT, gets some fresh tires and trying to get that thing back rolling. Ryan Lynch, though, currently your race leader.
Mooresville, North Carolina, leading this race here at Atlanta. He's on the 53 laps on these tires too, so he's just destroying himself in the long run, I feel like. Unless we get a yellow, which so far we've already discovered that iRacing doesn't like to throw them.
And in the chat, we got Brian Samari. He is not happy about being wrecked there by Waldo. He believed it was intentional. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
You know, I kind of, at the time, I didn't say anything, Blake, but I felt like he had a chance to save that car and then, you know, just came down the track. But, you know, I guess we'll just have to leave it to the race stewards to tell us how they feel it.
Yeah, we'll just see how it plays out as Ryan Lynch, your race leader, heading down pit road, going to give up the race lead to the one and only Andrew Hess. Ask about the winners on Instagram. He is your race leader here on lap number 55.
The only thing bigger than his wieners is his excitement for leading this race tonight. Andrew Hess on Instagram.
And folks, if you just tuned back in, again, we had to delete the last stream and redo it. Be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel here as we got to do it again. But we appreciate you sticking with us. We're not even close to halfway done yet. And here comes 54 minutes.
Oh, he's going to spin out. Oh no! Hard pit road. His wiener didn't help him there as he tripped over him.
Well, he stepped on his wieners as Andrew Hess is parked down pit road. He might just call it quits. But let's jump up to our race leader, Chad White. He has had a dominating performance. Christian, look at the board. He's 4 seconds ahead of Nelson.
definitely after a pit cycle, he came out on top, held his race lead. Yeah, you know, he keeps this up. We're gonna have to get him a better looking car here with the new logos.
Absolutely, and Chad White, he is just putting on a clinic. This is impressive, folks. I am honestly shocked. You know, I knew Chad had talent. That's why he's the Hutchinson Motorsports TV house car driver. But he is just killing it here tonight at Atlanta, at Loudon, Tennessee. Chad White, fast.
You know, he's just, I think he's doing this out of spite. You know, last week I said that he was one of the cars that had no chance to win the race. He ended up finishing second. You know, made me eat my words. I think he's doing this out of spite. You know, he said, Christian, you called me slow. You said I didn't have a shot. Now I'm going to show you what I'm made of.
And your pick to win this race, Kyle McCoy, sitting in the third spot. He has not disconnected yet, but Christian, normally he waits to get the race lead to disconnect. Yep.
I am not holding my breath. The moment he passes Chad White, which, you know, might not happen. He's 10 seconds behind our race leader. His internet provider is going to flip the switch. You're done, McCoy.
And Dylan Grimm making the pass here, taking over the fourth position from Ben Shepherd in that 69 machine.
Dylan Grimm already DoorDashed him an after-race meal. He told his crew chief to make sure it's hot when he gets out of this car, because if his fries are cold, he's fired.
And, you know, the DoorDash bill, he paid about $30 just for the delivery. Plus, he also had to pay the food on top of that. So it's going to be an expensive snack for Mr. Grimm, but he says it is worth it.
I wonder what restaurant he got tonight.
Oh, you know, I'm guessing he's got McDonald's, because you see the McDonald's logo here on the side of his car as he passes by.
Oh, okay. He got him 2 McDoubles, a medium fry, and a large Dr. Pepper.
Yep, got the Dr. Pepper as well there. He's wearing his Columbia jacket. He is a company man. Dylan Grimm loves his sponsors. How about Mr. JT Tinker, currently running the 14th position. Pretty good night so far for him. JT started in the back. Here he is running, headed toward the front.
Going to be good for his contract. I heard it was another contract year for JT Tinker. He smokes the wall there. He needs to put on a good performance. Brian Samara, you know, just got wrecked out of this race, which means he's watching now.
And he is not happy about what happened on the track. Hopefully he can cool off and he can coach his drivers here tonight.
You know, he might be instructing his driver to do something a little, you know, mischievous. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
And, you know, is Waldo still out there? I'm guessing he's probably done, because if he was, then he would probably be telling his drivers to junkie.
As I was saying that, I actually looked over at the scoreboard. Let me just do your junk report right now. The 89, James Waldo, junk. Brian Samara, junk. And then the 42, rounding out this list, Blake.
What's that?
He's junk.
That's unfortunate. The 42 on his own, honestly, his own fault. There was a big wreck in front of him. He just elects to go to the apron and never lift. Absolutely annihilates Brian Samara. You know, Brian could have continued this race until the 42 just smokes him. But we head back out front here. Chad White, your race leader by 3.5 seconds. Nelson starting to reel him in a little bit. Let's see if Chad White can keep the pressure on him and hold on to that race lead. He wants this thing to go green to checkered, but we're not even halfway done still.
No, but, you know, the one incident we did have didn't cause the yellow, and I think we're spreading a pretty good, decent bit right now. I'm kind of on the under game on cautions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's not going to be a caution, but it's not easy to get one here in Atlanta. If there's a wreck and they go down towards the apron, there's not going to be a caution. So there basically has to be a wreck towards the wall, and they need to park it on the wall. But we jump back around here. Christian, what are we seeing out of the 44? Kyle Bolin currently running the 10th position.
10th position. 13 laps on his tires, so definitely got an established run going. His best position was, if my scoring right is right here, he was in 7th at one point. Back in 10th position currently.
Yeah, as we watch the 28 of Whitaker try to get around the 41, who I believe is a lap car, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's Michael Kurtzolik out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's jumped.
You know what? That information that I gave y'all before was false. My computer, Blake has the best equipment, the best monitor. I'm sitting here using a Dell, big yellow white monitor to watch this race on. Hutchinson Motorsports TV spares no costs until the co-broadcaster comes around.
Absolutely. We're not wasting money on Christian's monitor. He's going to have to go to the Goodwill. Maybe he can find a good deal.
They never have anything.
Normally that electronics department is booming at the Goodwill. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you don't live in good old Leland, North Carolina.
But we look through the field. Currently only 30 cars on the lead lap as we've been green from the start here. Only one wreck. We stayed green, though. And, folks, since our last break was cut short due to cars junking it, we're going to go ahead and take one more break here. Kick back and relax. Don't you worry. You're not going to miss a lap. We're going to go Hutchinson Motorsports TV side by side. And we'll be back in a moment. Enjoy. We got some patented HMS TV tunes. And great fans of them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Atlanta 220. Don't worry, you haven't missed too much here tonight. Not much going on. Christian, what have you been seeing?
You know, just some spread out racing. Checking on the chat. Connor Gerard, you know, the GOAT's still here. What the fish in the chat? That's Mark Fish. You know, he had an incident earlier tonight. You know, the only real incident we've had tonight, he was the man who was all gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean? Connor Gerard, that's a Fatu reference, but you know, Connor, you know, I just got to say, acknowledge your tribal chief.
Yeah, Connor, must be a big WWE fan as well. Christian, you've been keeping up lately with what's going on in the universe?
Yep. You know, honestly, I watched night one SummerSlam, and I haven't watched another second of the WWE. Come on, mute your stream for if you don't want spoilers. 3, 2, 1. They did CM Punk dirty by letting Seth Rollins cash in on him. His character deserves a championship. That was wrong.
Yeah, you know, Christian, I'd push back. Anybody that says that's a spoiler, I mean, we're what, a week and a half past SummerSlam? I think we're past the spoiler point.
Well, you know, I haven't watched night 2. I know practically all what happens, but I just try to keep people entertained.
And you know what? Honestly, I haven't watched any WWE in quite a while, honestly. I didn't watch any of SummerSlam. I just looked up what happened. But I did actually watch part of Monday Night Raw last night for the first time in months. It was pretty okay.
You know, I kind of want to get back into watching WWE. One, and you know, I'm always working or racing, you know, here on iRacing. Blake doesn't give me too many days off. You know, Jesse Becker, you know, we saw him in the chat earlier. He just takes off all willy-nilly. You know, I try to take off, and Blake Hutchison denies my time off requests constantly.
You know, you guys are always putting in requests, and, you know, Jesse's just really being a real blue falcon, screwing over his team, making it where you can never get off days, Christian.
You know, I have to have a conversation with Becker there. You know, it's not, you know, I might have to see him out back in the studio one day, and, you know, teach him a lesson.
Absolutely. As we look at the chat, you know, viewership is way down tonight, and I don't blame you guys because we had some mishaps, some hiccups, but we're here tonight nonetheless. The Stars and Stripes series in the Xfinity cars this week. Next week, Christian, we're going to be back in the Indy cars, and we're going to be at a road course, Laguna Seca. What do you know about that place?
I know that's a, you know, pretty interesting, fun track to drive. It features the corkscrew, which is one of the hardest turns on iRacing, a hard left-hand downhill, then followed by a right-hander. You know, something that I never really accomplished. I never really conquered too well myself. So, gonna see how these drivers handle it.
And, you know, Christian, the bad news is, so starting, you know, this coming Sunday, we got the MCR series on board. We're at Portland. That's a track I'm going to have to buy. And then we head on Tuesday night to go to Laguna Seca. That's a track I need to buy. And then on Sunday, we're going to be at Road Atlanta. That's a track I need to buy. So I'm going to have to buy 3 tracks in 7 days.
I can help you out there with the second one. Late Laguna Seca is actually a free track.
Oh, well, great. Good to know. That saved me $15.
Definitely did. Real Talk Racing in the chat. I don't know if that's like an inside joke, but Blake, you don't like deviled eggs.
Absolutely not. The only thing worse than deviled eggs, Christian, is coleslaw.
You know, I'm not a coleslaw fan, but you know, like, I think the best time to eat a deviled egg is just any dinner. You know, bring out that plate of deviled eggs. I promise you, there might not be one left when you turn around.
Yeah, definitely so. But Christian, looking at the board, Chad White is just dominating this race. I mean, Chad's always running solid. I mean, he's never slow, but I've never seen this kind of performance out of him. He has just been dominating the field tonight.
Don't look now, but Cal McCoy had almost a 10-second gap to the leader. Now down to 2.8 seconds. Cal McCoy is coming, and he's coming right now.
100%. Last lap around the speedway, he was 3/10 faster than your race leader. Not sure what the difference is, just other than saving tires. He has a little bit, I mean, he has a car behind him, but they're not drafting together or anything. So it just seems to be all tire saving here for that 7 car, Kyle McCoy.
Yeah, that might be what Chad White's doing too, you know, backed it down a little bit, saving those tires. You know, neither one of them has the fastest lap of the night. That actually belongs to the 46 of Jason Grattan. But the pit cycle's starting, I will say.
Yeah, it looks, oh, and Josh Grattan just jumped to the pits. Not sure what happened. He jumped. Let's see if we got a replay here.
Oh, hard in the inside wall. 44 almost nails him. He's just going to slide through, kill the pit wall. Dude, oh my. Medical center staff is, you know, checking on some pit members right there. Some parts of the car came off. They're not okay.
Well,
oh
he's
my.
not all right, but the good news is his brother, Jason Grattan's still good. He was my pick to win. You know, do I think he's going to win at this point? Probably not. But it's been a good night for him, the 46 of Jason Grattan. You know, I was talking to the Grattan brothers earlier, and believe it or not, they've actually been practicing here in Atlanta for 7 hours.
7-hour practice session definitely can be something that you can't over practice. I've seen it happen, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen people, you know, put in a lot of effort. Yep, definitely so.
Yeah, so Josh Grattan, he put in 7 hours for no reason. He's junk. His night's done. But his brother Jason continues to run in the top 5 as Chad White's out front. And look at this lead, Christian. It has all but disappeared. Chad White's lead is now under a second.
I hear the Jaws theme song approaching from behind. Kyle McCoy is about there. He's about to make the pass, and his internet provider is hovering over the button.
They're about to pull the plug on Kyle McCoy. We know when he's a race leader, he disconnects. But taking a look at the board, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV pit strategy board, McCoy has 5 lap pressure tires. So, you know, Christian, I wondered why some of these guys stayed out last time. But we kind of look at it. It looks like they get it back on the back end and then some possibly.
You know, if I'm Chad White, Kyle McCoy passes me here in pits, I'd pit instantly. But also, if I'm McCoy and I see Chad pit, I need to pit too. You don't need to get your tires all, you know, off balance there. You know, you get a gap, you might not be able to recover if you wait too long.
Here comes
Oh, and there goes Chad now.
I think that's a great call. Looking at the board, you know, Chad White, his first run was 45 laps. This one was 40. It's going to be 49 laps by the time he gets down pit road. Now, looking at McCoy, though, you know, he's only on lap 44 of this run. If I'm him, I'd probably stretch this out, you know, just a few more laps just so he can finish this race on some fresher tires.
Yeah, just, you know, Kyle McCoy's fast, so I'm not going to discredit him, but, you know, you wait too long, you're not going to be able to catch.
But we jump back. The GOAT, Scott Rickard, currently in the 3rd position. Looks like Chad White was basically the first one of our leaders to pit. So he's going to have to finish this race on some of the oldest tires out there. So hopefully this will work out for him.
Scott Rickard, the GOAT, having a quiet night, but he's worked his way all the way to 3rd position currently due to pit cycles. But, you know, I think it was 4th before that, so definitely bringing a little bit of a recovery to this night, you know, starting later in the pack, ending up where he is now.
100% Chad White trying to lap that 93 of JT Tinker with the 07 right in front of him. That is Nelson, and going to be a battle for the 2nd position.
I don't think Nelson's going to be able to hold off Scott Rickard, especially if we have honestly, if we were to have a pit stop right now, I'd be shocked to see. I'd be shocked if Rickard doesn't have a chance to win this thing if there were to be a caution. But I don't think that.
There's really no team else going to play. It's going to come down to who saves their tires the best, most efficiently here in this last run. And everybody comes down pit road one final time.
Watching right now is Trey Jackson. Back in the 9th position. He's got some slower traffic in front of him. And he is trying his hardest to get around them. Almost a cluster right here as he shoots the middle. Takes off like a rocket as soon as he gets around those cars.
And then Dylan Grimm coming down pit road, as well as Zach Kreitz right behind him. So our leaders start to come down pit road as Kyle McCoy continues to roll out front.
25 and 12 also coming down pit road. Here comes Kyle McCoy. This time around, going to be pitting.
Christian, could you imagine the devastation if McCoy disconnects this race? He's honestly been cheated out of 2 wins this season already. And a third one would just be devastating.
I picked him to win tonight, Blake, so there is going to be no misfortune. He is going to win this race.
Oh, watching him down pit road. We jump back over to our race leader, Zachary Nelson. He's got Scott Rickard, the GOAT, right on his back bumper. Christian, what are you seeing out of these two?
You know, just quite a battle going on. I don't know if Scott Rickard just can't get around him or doesn't want to just yet, but kind of settled in behind him. Gonna see what comes of this battle here.
As they continue to duke it out, it's going to be a matter of time before they head down pit road here. They're going to try to stretch this out a little bit more here, but there's only 41, 42 laps left. In my opinion, I think it's time to come down right now.
Definitely need to come now if you gotta come.
But here comes the 07 going to the bottom. Let's see if he wants to elect to go down pit lane. Yep, there he goes.
Yes. Scott Rickard gonna lead this lap, and I assume to see him go the next time. That 45 car, that beautiful machine's working his way around him, trying to get his lap back.
As they all duke it out, try to get the spot. Folks, we got something for you. I'm going to pull up on the screen right now. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time ever this week, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We got the power rankings. This is for every series here, folks. But we can take a look here at the Hutchinson Motorsports TV power rankings. Here it is. We got Cole Snyder on the top. Then in second place out of this league right here, this is all of our leagues combined. We have had an extensive amount of research done, and we've came up with a system to measure all of the drivers together. So Cole Snyder out of the Superstar ARCA West Series, #1, he's been on a tear in that series. Then Scott Rickard, the GOAT here with the Stars and Stripes series. He's the only one in the series on the list, but he's in second. Let's see if he can move up to that first position, if he can get a win tonight. So there was your Hutchinson Motorsports TV Power Rankings. If you're interested in learning more, we have the entire spreadsheet of the rankings from 1st to 100th here on the Discord. So just check out the description. You can join the Discord channel, and we will give you a link on the Discord channel. You can check out where your favorite driver is through the entire field. Hutchinson Motorsports TV Power Rankings. So here comes Scott Rickard down pit road. Race leader, he's going to give up the lead here. Chad White's going to cycle back into the lead. We know he's one of the faster short run cars, but it's all about the long run with Kyle McCoy. He's got some distance to make up. And looking at the board, Chad White currently has about a 6-second lead on the next car behind him.
You know, it's insane the difference that just a few laps made for McCoy staying out after Chad. 5-second gap.
Yeah, 5 seconds, but he's got a lot of time. I mean, honestly, McCoy is the favorite of this race. Something's going to have to happen to him to not win, because he's just in a good position with those tires right now.
Definitely so. Just under 40 laps to go now. 39. It's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen.
And we saw Chad White's got 11 laps on his tires. McCoy just a couple on his. So he's going to have an 8-lap or so advantage on his tires at the end of this race, which is really going to come in handy. Here he is, Christian. Chad better hope that Grattan holds up McCoy for a while. That's really his best shot. He needs Grattan to race him hard.
We're going to try, as McCoy is going to go down to the inside here. Maybe not quite yet. Definitely trying to give him a run here. Going to get on his inside in this turn. Side by side through 1 and 2.
Well, if he clears him, it'll be quick work here. Not going to do so, though.
Not this time, but I think around turn 3 and 4, he's definitely going to get it cleared.
I think he might throw a slide job right here. Yep, there it is. McCoy gets around, grabbing the second position. He's only 4 seconds behind White with plenty of time to go.
You remember the turn, Blake? You know, it didn't happen during that pass, but, you know, if you give him an old slap on the side, you remember what that term is called now.
Yes, sir, folks. If you tuned in Sunday Night Racing, we had a new term, side slapper, that they let us know on the NASCAR podcast.
Lee Diffie, you didn't say it right. It's the side slapper.
Yes, sir, the side slapper in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV paddock. If you're in the chat, folks, that's the new name to our live stream chats, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV paddock.
You know, it's a beautiful building to be in. Kyle McCoy, look at that gap just deteriorating in front of our eyes. He is on a mission. He is fast. He wants to take it home here tonight in Atlanta if his internet provider allows him to.
Absolutely. He has basically got this race in the bag unless Chad White junks him. And honestly, if I'm Chad White, I might just do that.
You know, give him an old side slapper as he comes up beside him.
Yeah, you know, you try to pass me, you know, I'll just right hook you straight into the wall. We'll get our first caution and you'll be done.
You know, that's what Austin Hill would do.
No, he's just racing hard out there, Christian.
Yeah, sure, okay.
But Kyle McCoy continues to work through the field here. He's getting to the back bumper of Chad White here, I bet, in the next 10 or so laps.
Ooh, we almost had a collision there to 69 getting around JT Tinker. Kind of ran him up the track a little bit. JT Tinker is out of shape.
Yeah, you know, Tinker had some speed early on, but that faded pretty quickly right now. He is a lapper, and he's in the 23rd spot. Meanwhile, his teammate, Aaron Poplin, go ahead.
69 involved in a wreck. On the track, slow.
It's off. Just in time. He's jumping.
That car is destroyed. Let's see what happened. Oh, wait, he turned?
I don't think he got any. Yeah, I think he just gets into the wall here himself. Let's hop up to Hutchinson Motorsports chopper cam, best chopper cam in the business. There's the 69 and Ben Shepard coming out the corner. Into the wall, a little hard, comes down. In the wall again, in the wall again. And the 5 says, you know what, you've been in the wall too many times. I'm going to finish the job.
His night's over.
That's unfortunate, Christian. He was running in the top 5.
Yeah, he can't be mad. He was in the wall the whole turn. The 5, you know, probably checked up a lot. Just didn't have anywhere to go at the end.
I definitely don't blame him.
Chad White's lead is practically gone. 1.26 seconds behind. You will find Kyle McCoy.
Here he is, the Peach Vibes Celsius number 7 machine, Kyle McCoy, running down your race leader. Last lap around the speedway, he was 3/10 faster, so that math means in 3 laps, he might take over this race lead.
With 30 to go, though, Kyle McCoy is not the fastest car on track. I have seen consistently fast laps out of the 05 of Scott Rickard in the 6th position. He is making a charge, and every time I look at that gap to the leader, it's getting smaller. He's got some traffic to work around, but, you know, if he can make quick work of it with 29 laps to go, he might have a shot.
Yeah, you know, look at Rickard's tire strategy. He's got even fresher tires than McCoy. Probably about 5 to 6 laps fresher, so let's see if it works out for him. Right now, he is, I'm trying to do the math how far back. He is 8.3 seconds behind Kyle McCoy, so he's got some work to do, but a lot of time to do.
Definitely so. I'm going to keep an eye on him as we move forward here at the night race in the Stars and Stripes Series at Old Atlanta. Chad White, your current race leader, but a charging Kyle McCoy behind him.
McCoy continues to reel him in. It's just a matter of time here in the next couple of laps. He's going to be side-by-side battling for the race lead. Might not be much of a battle.
If he catches him, he's going to go on around him. You know, Chad Knight can put up a little bit of a fight. Left for a suspension cam with Cal McCoy.
Less than half a second. Jump around a little bit. Well, I would see who your hard charger is, but honestly, I have no clue. I couldn't be able to tell you. But all I know is Chad White's your race leader. Kyle McCoy in second. Jason Gratton third. Dylan Grimm fourth. And the GOAT, Scott Ricker, rounding out your top five. Trying to throw some dirty air on McCoy, but there's just too much time left. There's about 25 laps remaining. Chad White's going to need to pull off a miracle to hold off that 7. So we stay tuned right here. Kyle McCoy to the back bumper here of Chad White. Trying to make the pass here. We're going to hop on board with the second place car, Kyle McCoy, looking to take over the race lead.
There goes to the inside. Side by side through the turn. Gonna exit. You're gonna see the slides off? No, not yet. He's not clear.
Well, right here, you're about to see it. McCoy's gonna head in there, probably coming out of the corner, take over that race lead.
Gonna slide up the track. Still not clear.
White gets on the
Chad.
gas.
Yeah, too soon. Hit a wall.
Yeah, Chad was trying to stay on the gas here to keep McCoy underneath him, but was unable to do so. White gets into the wall. See if he can hold on at least a second or hope for a late caution. That would be his best bet. But
Scott
nonetheless,
continuing the turn.
Yep, Scott Rickard putting down some burner times. He's 6.8 seconds behind. Got some work to do. But folks, if you're still tuned in here, we appreciate you coming out here. Having some technical difficulties, had to do a new stream link. So you're going to see the view count all the way down here on this video. But that's part of the business, unfortunately, sometimes. As Chad White continues to run second, be sure, though, while you're here, click the like button, subscribe to the page, Hutchins Motorsports TV. We're going to take our last break of the evening as we've got just 21 laps left to go here at Old Atlanta. We're going to come back for the finish with the Stars and Stripes Series Atlanta 220 finish. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here at Hudson Motorsports TV. 13 laps remain as Kyle McCoy leads the race.
Kyle McCoy out front, really looking down at the track. Is this the best camera angle in the business, Blake?
Absolutely. We're in the Harpoon Design blimp up top watching Brian Burchett rip it around the speedway in the 12th position. He is a lap down, I believe. He's not. I don't know. Never mind. I thought the 28 was Chad White because he's the 28 in another league we run. So he is in 11th.
Nope.
But nonetheless, though, folks, be sure to check out harpoondesigns.com. Best design in the business. I'm sorry, it's harpoondesign.com, no S. So head over there. Paint start at just $25, Christian. Can you believe that? I honestly expected them to be about double that.
You know, just the quality of the paint, I'm shocked it's not. You'll see them here on Thursday night in the All-America Cup Series. You'll see two paints live here. Tune back in. We'll show you to them. Ladies and gentlemen, harpoondesign.com. I'm about to put the link in the chat. If you are even, there you go, already done it. Hutchinson Motorsports TV puts it in the chat. Harpoondesign.com. If you are even thinking about a paint, head there right now.
Absolutely here, folks, as we get down to the nitty-gritty, coming to 10 laps remaining. Be sure to check out Harpoon Design. They are a big supporter of the channel. Pull this up. See the Bring the Noise graphic here, folks. One last time. Some issues. There we go. There it is. Look at that beautiful design. Of course it was designed by Harpoon Design. I mean, who else would have done it?
Definitely one of the best designers in the business. Who designed our new logos? Same guy.
It's the best in them. I mean, they just look way better, folks. If you're tuned in here live, we got the Motorsports TV new logos there on the screen. Looking good here tonight. Just 10 laps remain. Kyle McCoy is out front by about 5 seconds, Christian.
You know, Scott Rickard's charge has fell off. He's no longer the fastest car on the track. That belongs to the Ford hill. But with just 10 laps to go, unless there is internet provider interference, Kyle McCoy is driving off into the Atlanta sunset. A-Town down belongs to McCoy.
Oh, Chad White, he must be having his fingers and toes crossed in the car, just hoping that McCoy's internet kicks in and he gets disconnected once again.
Yeah, I think Chad White's making a phone call right now to his internet provider. Remember, and he's trying to remind them of the deal they had. I don't know. I heard that over the radio. I don't know what he means by remember the deal there, Spectrum, but you have to see what he meant by that.
We'll wait and see, but Christian, could you imagine the heartbreak though? Let's say we get the white flag and then Kyle McCoy just disappears.
I don't even want to think about that. Oh my.
Tell you what though, Kyle McCoy, probably one of the most winningest drivers ever in the Stars and Stripes series. He's been around here forever. You know, this is season, I believe it's 11. And Kyle McCoy, I think he's been here from the start, if not pretty close to it.
Oh, he's the winner of this race, season 1. So definitely right from the start.
You know, we'll have to look up some stats this week, try to get some numbers on who's got the most wins in series history, but I would be willing to bet a large sum of money that it's this 7-car Kyle McCoy. He's been winning every season since season 1.
Definitely going to have to get our stats guy bump and run Jesse Becker when he gets back from vacation on that one. You know, taking a vacation almost nightly. Jesse Becker.
Yeah, I was about to say if he ever gets back from vacation.
Definitely so. You know, oh my, just constantly, just not here. However, coming to 5 laps to go this time around, Kyle McCoy, a dominating race lead, over 6 seconds to Chad White. There's no stopping him. Only one thing can stop him, that's that internet provider. But, however, tonight, I know he got a new Ethernet cable. Just talking to him in the chat. Might have it solved. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath, cross your fingers.
Yeah, as a new Ethernet cable. Also, had some issues with some components. I guess the CPU overheated. He was having some heating issues. And Christian, I'm kind of regretting giving him some pointers on keeping his temps down.
Don't regret it. This will be the second time in Hutchinson Motorsports TV history I have picked your race winner.
Meanwhile, he's trying to pick his battles here lightly with the lap traffic up here. He doesn't want to get jumped by a lapper.
That would be tragic. Oh no!
Caution is
the
out!
yellow is out!
Can you believe it? Mark Schrader is off the track. Our first caution of the night, folks, coming with 3 laps remaining. Mark Schrader says, you know what? I'm sick of Kyle McCoy leading this race.
He just gets jumped by the 32 car.
Let's rewind a little bit more, see what happened. All right, so let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV chopper cam. We are under caution for the first time of the night. 32 says, all right, loser, you're jumped. He just quarter panel. Just flat out junked him, Christian.
Right hand hooked him for a slide in the infield. And, of course, you know, in typical iRacing fashion, gonna be consistently inconsistent. Kyle McCoy gonna have to defend his race lead now. We thought he had it in the bag. We thought this race was over. No!
Now, Christian, this changes everything. You know, it is a tough pill to swallow to come down pit road, give up that race lead. You know, if I'm Chad White, I'm going down pit road, and I'm just going to hope that most of the field behind me does as well.
If you're first place, second place, you gotta stay out. You can't go down.
Well, I think going in is the right call. Yeah, I mean, we see the tire fall off here, Christian. It's like 2 seconds. I think if you stay out, you're a sitting duck, and it looks like nobody's going to stay out. If I'm in the back, maybe I stay out for shits and giggles, but...
Oh, JT Tinker, he's a lap down. Irrelevant, though, but...
That would have been funny.
Still.
Look who's staying out, Christian. Oh, wait. No, he's got to go back around the field still. Never mind. I thought Aaron Poplin was going to stay out there. That would have been pretty interesting to see.
He scored on the lead lap on my screen. That could be
but
wrong.
he had to go around, I think.
Okay.
I still have Kyle McCoy, the race leader. So comes off pit road with the fresh tires. So smart call by your leaders. Again, it's a hard pill to swallow, but you just had to go down pit road, take the tires, because you're just a sitting duck. You know, let's say if even 10 of them stayed out there on these old tires with the speed difference, you're just going to get past.
Possibly so. Ladies and gentlemen, though, we are going to have a green-white checkered finish. Only one. We only do this one time. The next flag will be the end of the race.
Boy,
Let's go green.
This is crazy, though, Christian. Again, our first caution of the night. We were 3 laps away from a green to checkered run here at Atlanta. That just shows the talent in this field. You know, Stars and Stripes Series action. The first couple races of the year were a little rough. You know, it's a new league for a lot of these guys, and we had to try out the Indy car, so just a lot of weird factors. But this is a typical night here with the Stars and Stripes Series. Green to checkered almost until we had a late caution.
Very preventable caution, too. I think... I heard on the radio when Kyle McCoy was checking up for the pace car, I heard the disappointment in his voice, that I'd say heartbreak in his voice. So I have a feeling when he sees why that caution came out, he'll be even a little bit more mad, especially if he's not able to capitalize on this race.
You know, Chad, he's got the short distance speed, but he just has to get a big jump. He has to have a door-to-door jump here to have a shot at this race. Hopefully he can pull it off, but it's going to be a tough task to get around that 7. But here we go, folks. The field is set for the first time of the evening. We've got our first restart as the pace car is going to head in your front row. Going to be the race leader, Kyle McCoy. He had this thing in the bag. The late caution comes out. We're in overtime. Chad White on his outside. Green flag in the air in Atlanta. And Chad White gets turned.
Oh, and Chad gets turned! In the infield! That may have just given Kyle McCoy the win.
You know, Chad...
My, oh my, Chad White!
Chad couldn't get off the line. You know, he had a terrible restart. He was just in the way, and the guys tried to check up, just didn't have time. But here comes the GOAT, Scott Rickard. Can he pull it off? Down the backstretch, coming through 3-4. Gonna take the white flag this time around.
White flag gonna be out. Scott Rickard coming down low, trying to get a run out of turn 4 here. Gets loose. Doesn't have it this time. He's got one more lap. White flag is in the air. One more lap for the GOAT, Scott Rickard, to try to pass Kyle McCoy, who seems to be driving off into the sunset. Blake, take it away for the finish.
Yeah, Scott Rickard got big time lose out of 3 and 4. Last lap around might have cost him a chance at this race. He's trying to get a run down the backstretch for the final time at the Atlanta 220. The sold-out crowd, they're on their feet. They're off their seats. Nothing's going to change out front. Kyle McCoy out of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Kyle McCoy wins the Atlanta 220.
Scott Rickard crossing the line second. Dylan Grimm in a 23 car third. Bryce Barfield finishing a top 5. And Trey Jackson is the 5th place position.
Boy, what a great interesting finish. You know, we had a green to checker run until the end there. McCoy throwing a slide job to celebrate after the race. Let's check this replay real quick, though, Christian. See what happened on this green flag. Chad White.
Doesn't go. I don't understand. I don't think it was tire spin. I just don't think he went. I think he was sleeping.
You know, I kind of felt like, so to me, watching it live, it kind of felt like the 7 kind of deked him, like he fake went, and maybe it kind of threw him off. Let's hop on board here with your race leader, Kyle McCoy. Watch this replay again. Let me find the Hutchinson Motorsports TV cockpit view. Here it is. So here's a restart. Here's your race leader, Kyle McCoy. Let's see if he kind of dekes him out a little bit. Nope. Clean start.
No, it was clean.
Chad White just falling asleep behind the wheel, and, you know, I mean, you can't blame the 23 there. I mean, it sucks for Chad, but I mean, we're doing a green-white checkered. You're not going to stop for the guy in front of you. He tried to check up the most he did.
Definitely an unfortunate turn of events as Chad White gets turned out of 2nd place. Kyle McCoy doing his burnouts. He's your race winner tonight. Let's see if anybody's in the chat.
I mean, we got our regulars basically in the top 3. Grimm, Rickard, and McCoy. All of them always run up front.
Definitely so. You ready to do some interviews there, Blake?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finisher tonight. Give me 1 second. I'm struggling here. Dylan Grimm in the 23 car. This is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Welcome in. You know, 3rd place finish tonight after a very late race caution. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I didn't have a ton of practice going into tonight, so I'll definitely take a 3rd place there.
Yeah, Dylan, you know, it was a good day for you all night long. You were in the top 5 the whole time. You never really had the race-winning speed, but you were out there on that last restart. What was going through your mind? It looked like the 38 car out front just was struggling to get going.
Yeah, the 38, I think he thought McCoy was gonna go earlier in the box than he did. McCoy went pretty late, so then I think the 38, he was just pretty slow going there, and I feel bad for hitting him, but I just had a big run and didn't have enough time to get out the way, and so I feel bad there. But then once I got past him, I was just trying to do everything I could to catch Kyle and Scott, but they were full pushing it as I was, so
Yeah.
it was hard to catch him there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't think anybody will blame you for getting into the 38. It looked like you checked up the most you could there, just unable to do so after a bad restart from them. But hey, a top 3 run for you on the podium once again here tonight as we go through the season. Next week, we're going to be in the IndyCar at Laguna Seca. What are you feeling about your chances there?
Not feeling great. I think I've run laps at Laguna Seca. I'm not even sure, but I'll have to run some practice laps and see how it goes. I don't have super high expectations for myself, but Hopefully it goes better than I think.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. But congratulations on the podium run. Before you head out, you got any shout outs for our fans at home?
Yeah, I gotta shout out Nate and everyone who puts on this league. You guys are doing a great job in the broadcast every week. I gotta shout out my papa for spotting for me. Gotta shout out my teammates, Zach Kreitz, Jason and Josh Gratton. Those guys help me prepare every week a ton. And anyone else out there root me on.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations once again. Before you head out, Christian, you got anything for him?
I do not. Just congratulations on your podium finish tonight. Dylan Grimm coming in third place. Let's send you back to your team. What team were you in there, sir?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What team are you in there so I can send you back?
Green, white, checkered, I believe.
Alrighty. That
Thank
was Dylan Grimm, ladies and gentlemen. Now time for the GOAT, your second place finisher here tonight. Scott Rickard, how do you feel?
Glad that the long run going long and pitting later actually kind of worked on in this race for once. At least one of these times it works.
Yeah, definitely so. I saw you charging hard there before the caution. Kind of, I guess, I don't know if you maybe used the tires up, couldn't make the run last. However, a hard charge after the late yellow almost had the race win here tonight.
Yeah, me and McCoy teammates, so I want to have to get the in-team referee try to pass him, but I definitely put too much fuel in. Even though I was put less than a full tank and trying to tighten it up, so I had the short run. But yeah, I'll take second for Atlanta.
Yeah, Scott, definitely a good run for you. At the end, I really thought you were going to pull it off, but it looked like coming out of turn 4 with 2 to go, you got a little loose there, and it really cost you any chance you had.
Yeah, I was trying to get to his inside for the next corner, and he didn't put fuel in. I put fuel in, and I probably should have in hindsight because I wouldn't have probably been as loose there. But you never know with these things. I was happy just getting third in the long run at the end before that caution came out, so I'll take second, get one spot from it.
Yeah, and another great run for you here. You've been tearing it up this season, and on the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Power Rankings, you are the top driver in the series. You coming into this race, you were second overall, counting our other series. So maybe this will be able to push you up into that top spot overall.
Yeah, we'll see. I just show up. I do enough leagues where I just show up and try to run up front, maybe win. So I don't care about most stats outside of that.
I don't blame you there. Well, another good run for you here tonight. Before we head out, do you got any shout outs or anything for the fans?
Team Boston Racing setups, my dog, and everybody in Brunswick's garage for this league.
All right. Well, hey, short and sweet. Got it done. Podium finish here tonight. I'm sure it's not going to be the last time we hear from you. Christian, what do you got for the GOAT, Scott Rickard?
Just one last congratulations on your P2 finish tonight. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was your second place finisher, Scott Rickard, in that 05 car. But now it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, the race winner of the Atlanta 220 tonight, Kyle McCoy, bringing it home after a dominating performance. Kyle, this is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, guys. Nice to finally talk to you.
Yes, sir. Welcome in. I picked you to win tonight at the beginning of the race. Only my second time ever picking the race winner live. How does it feel? How does it feel, and what did you have to do to bring it home tonight?
Man, that was a bold strategy considering my tech issues the last couple of weeks. So I'm glad it worked out for both of us. That was awesome. That was a really fun race. I love the car track combo here. I'm always loved Atlanta, and just kind of had to bide my time. I had such a horrible qualifying effort that it took me all race to get there, but finally got there at the end. Had a little bit of a stressful moment with that last caution, but glad to finish it out and get a 1-2 for the team too.
Yeah, Kyle, a great run. You finally got the job done. The last 2 times you were been out front in one of these races, you disconnected. What were you thinking in the back of your mind? Were you thinking, uh-oh, this is going to happen again?
Yeah, a little bit. we went through some pretty major modifications, so I was hoping everything would hold on, and it ran like a dream tonight. So really pumped about that. I got to thank my buddy Kyler, who kind of worked on my computer. We put a brand new cooler in and got a whole new setup basically. So we're all set now, and hopefully this is the first of many.
All right, and we were looking back at some stats. You've been here with Stars and Stripes since the start, and we assume you're probably the most winningest driver in the series history, and that trend continues here tonight at Atlanta.
Man, this league is so competitive. It's always so much fun. We get clean races like this a lot. I know there was a couple skirmishes, but for the most part, I mean, this league runs like a dream. There was like 30 guys here tonight, and everybody ran clean. It was really hard to pass. It was fun. And I love coming here on Tuesday nights to race with these guys because it's a special group of guys, and wouldn't want to do anything else.
Absolutely, well said. Well, hey, before you head out, you got any shout outs or anything to add for our fans at home?
Yeah, like I said, got to shout out my buddy Kyler for fixing me up, get my tech running. Hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. Got to shout out my girlfriend. She told me not to run the Iowa State car, and turns out that was better luck. So appreciate that, and shout out to my dad, who I think was out there watching too. So really appreciate all those guys. Appreciate the team getting me through the race tonight, and appreciate you guys for putting it on. It's really fun.
All right, well, hey, congratulations. Before you head out, Christian, what do you got for our race winner here?
Just one final congratulations to Cal McCoy. And also, I heard you on the radio when you said checking out for the pace car. I heard the disappointment in your voice, but I guess at the end of the day, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've had some interesting problems restarting at this track in particular with spinning the tires. So I'm just glad to have gotten through that. I mean, it was a good night overall, no matter what, but I was just happy to get through that last restart because that was a little high stress. But no, pumped to get the win tonight. Now we'll hopefully see you guys here soon.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Cal McCoy, one last time, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Wow, Christian, well said by our race winner, Kyle McCoy. The C's part, and he gets it done. Finally able to park it in victory lane. He's been dominating most of these races he's made and just hasn't been able to get a good result due to a number of issues, mainly internet problems.
Definitely so, but I said at the beginning of the race he was going to win it. He ended up right there in victory lane tonight. That's my second time picking the race winner. I might just be the GOAT.
He just might be. Looks like you turned a new leaf here, Christian. And it seems like it's just this league. You can pick him in this league, just no other one.
Yeah, it's just a handful of winners. It's like you can almost see who's going to be running up front. But still, that does not discredit the rest of the field. They are some tough competitors here in the Stars and Stripes Racing Series.
Yeah, but Christian, I do want to add, though, like Kyle mentioned, again, we just want to point out there were like 35 drivers or so in this race. We essentially had a green to checkered run there until that very last caution. So, I mean, that's honestly incredible. We're at old Atlanta. Everybody's in junk tires. This is a real mile and a half. We're not super speedway racing. So we basically went 140 whatever laps clean.
Yep, that's definitely with this many cars unheard of. There's probably once or twice that it should have been a caution that didn't get called, but nonetheless, a green flag run here of the ages. Congratulations to every single one of these drivers here tonight in the Stars and Stripes Racing Series.
Absolutely. And again, if you're still tuned in, we appreciate you guys greatly for staying tuned with us. We had some technical difficulties, had to redo the stream, so we stopped it, made a new link. So that caused some issues on the viewership here tonight nonetheless. But, hey, we still got it done. And, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure, though, before you head out, please click that like button. Subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Check out our Discord. In the description, you're going to see some information. We got Bones Does in the chat. He made it late. He said he was busy tonight. Hey, we appreciate you coming out last minute, Bones. Christian, you got any last minute words for our fans?
As it's on the screen right now, the Harpoon Design Blimp. If you need a paint done, head on over to harpoondesign.com. Click that little link to get into the Google form. Place your order. The #1 paint source on iRacing, harpoondesign.com.
Well said, Christian. And again, he is #1 on trading paints. That's actually a real thing. That's not something we made up. So he's the top dog in the business. Head on over. Paint start at just $25, which is honestly a steal for the kind of work he does. You should see the paint job he just made for us. in the truck series. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. But nonetheless, though, signing out for the night. In the booth here with Christian Taylor, it's Blake Hutchinson. We're done for the night. We're going to be back here tomorrow night for the Superstar ARCA West Series finale. Going to be at Kansas. So you're not going to want to miss that. Tune in here tomorrow night. We're going to have the technical issues fixed here. Not going to have to worry about redoing a link. Things will be ready to roll. But hey, sometimes this stuff happens, folks. We've done hundreds of streams, and we've had this issue now twice. So it happens. But nonetheless, though, as always, thanks again for tuning in. Click the subscribe button. Till next time, see you then.
Bye.
Toward each other, Richter Johnson! Checkered flag in the air! Scott Richter wins it!
Oh, there he goes. Harder to the inside wall. Hibbs is involved. Tyler Whittemore. He's in the middle of the track. Oh, he's going to get stuck again.
He's John! The French shows up blocking his turn! Rossinger takes the lead, they're all junk in it! The entire field is junk! Oh, and Andy Tinker Johnson! Oh, and it gets collected!
Oh, and he goes around 78. Oh, Harden in the pit wall. He's dead. He is dead.
Clear out of 3 and 4 for the final time. Matthew Wiggins, first race back, missed last week, but here he is, taking the checkered flag. Your winner,